Welcome, everybody, to the greatest show where I get to show up the greatest people and have way too much fun doing it. And today I have no one to show off but myself. So thank you for being here. We actually had our guest reschedule, and it was really late to just kind of come and engage with you guys and do the show anyways. And you might be seeing this beautiful wheel that I'm so excited about. I love it so much. And we're going to have a prize at the end of it, but I'm not going to tell you what it is until we get there. So today's topic is one that's actually been really inspiring me lately. Something I've been looking at in my life and changing dynamically for the first time, probably in 6 or 7 years. So the topic that I would love to talk about is creation of a greater future by, drumroll, living. Now, why living? Why is living even important? Okay. So we think when we're going to create a greater future, I want to create a greater future for the next generation. It often has nothing to do cognitively. We don't think of having, more joy of living or putting your attention on different energies to add to your living. That's not usually in the conversation. And that's why I wanted to have the conversation with you guys today about this. So a little backstory. For those of you that know me, I was in an 11-year relationship. And then when that ended, that was about 6 years ago, I kind of, once I picked up all the pieces and started to, okay, I want to create my life. This was an idea that I had. I want to create my life, okay? I went into full-blown work mode because what I thought creating your life was having a career, having money so that you can support your kids because now you're a single mom. And it became my number one priority. That was it. Work. So I would wake up in the morning and the first thing I would do is I'd pick up my phone and I would start to respond to messages. I would start to see where do I need to add my energy to. I would start to create immediately before my feet hit the ground. Then I would get up and I would get my kids to school and then I would start to work. And I would work, and sometimes more often than not, like even when I'm eating my lunch, I'm working while I'm eating. And then I pick my kids up from school and I kind of, engage with them a little bit. That was part of, they were definitely one of my top priorities. So I would engage with them for a little bit and then they would kind of start to do their own thing. And then I would work. Then I would cook dinner. We would have dinner together. It'd be lovely. And then I would work. And then it would be bedtime. And then, we'd read books. And then after they fell asleep, often I was working until 2 a.m. And then I'd do the same thing. And then I'd do the same thing. And then I'd do the same thing. And then when my kids were with their dad, I was like, oh, this is great because now I can actually work more. So I wouldn't have like the breaks of cooking dinner. I would just really my eating habits were not the greatest. It was more about grabbing takeout or grabbing whatever was just available that I didn't have to do anything more than really warm up. That's what I thought living was. It was creating some sort of structure that would add stability to my kids' lives. And I really did love what I was doing. There was a lot of joy in it and a lot of creation energy in the work that I was doing. So now only really 6 months ago, did it start to occur to me that maybe living isn't just about working. I know. We're all surprised right now. But it really, and this is one of, you can often find the beauty in things and what's right about this. And one of the beauties for me with COVID was this awareness. I started to really look at I had my kids home all the time now. They weren't going to school. A lot of the things that I was doing work-wise were no longer moving, and business changed and all this stuff. And I started to, and I wasn't traveling as much. Traveling was a big part of my living. It was also a big part of my work. Even when I traveled, I didn't have a lot of space to explore these areas. I remember being in Rome last year, so excited. And I was like, I want to go see the Colosseum and this, like all these things. I was so excited to engage with. And what ended up happening is work overtook pretty much everything. And at that time, it seemed like it was just coming at me, not an awareness of this is actually the platform for my living. I created this as the platform for my living. So the universe is going to keep delivering it. So work just got delivered, and I didn't get to explore very much of Rome. I had some really nice dinners, okay, and had the most joyful time eating gelato at this beautiful place. And there was so much that I received from that trip. And I know that if my priority had been more towards living, it would have been a really different trip. So, okay, yes, work. And I really do enjoy what I do. So, a lot of people would say you're going to get burnt out and stuff like that. I didn't achieve burnout because I loved what I was doing. Were there days where I got tired and I was like, I just want to have a bath right now? Of course that showed up. And that's still, like, be honest, it still shows up today. However, it's very different. And it's right now, I'm in the evolution of it. And I didn't want to, go through it and then be at the end of the rainbow and be like, hey guys, this is what I discovered. I actually decided to start talking about it now and to bring this conversation to the world so that all of us can start to look at this, and the conversation can grow. And what can I actually learn from people around me? And that's what I've been looking at. What's living like to them? And not duplicating it, not necessarily mimicking their life, but tapping out and just, is there something there that I like? Is there something there that kind of lights me up as this vibration of living? And then I try it out for a little bit. And sometimes I love it. And sometimes I'm like, oh, that was fun for like a day and I'm pretty much over it. But that's part of how I'm actually discovering what is living to me, because I know what life is. Life is having a house and having a car and having kids and sometimes having a pet, and it's having a job, and it's maintaining those things, and it's keeping as much stability as possible, and a lot of form and structure. I know what life is. I have a life. I know what that is. And when I was married, I was really good at it. I was really good at creating it for everyone. I created a life for me. I created a life for my kids and for my husband. And I was really good at maintaining it and allowing it to slowly get better, slowly grow my life. But living is something that I've never looked at. Living is something that I've never even allowed myself to explore in the way that I am exploring it now. So, which is pretty exciting. So what does living have to do with the future? What does creating living have to do with the future? And let's go a little bit further into that. See, look at, I'm almost interviewing myself. I'm proud. I just had a proud moment right there of myself. Y'all experienced it with me. Thank you so much for being here. So, okay, so I'm looking at this living, and COVID's here, and now I have some more space. I have space that I've never had before. And I'm like, whoa, I don't want to fill up my space. And I was very, very aware of my entrainment to fill up that space with work. And I had to stop myself often, okay, So for those 3 months where the world kind of slowed down, I had the luxury, and I'm going to say yes, luxury of space, because space is luxury. I had the luxury of having a lot more space in my day-to-day. And I explored that space, not by filling it up, but I explored this in that space. What are the possible elements of living that I could start to have, engage with, create, so that I could create a new platform for myself? I started to go for walks almost every single day down by my creek. You guys have probably seen a million Facebook lives that I did about it, post on my Instagram. I just love, like, maybe too obsessed with ducks. I don't know. And so that started to be an energy of living for me. I was like, okay, cool. So this is one of the elements. What else is there? And then I found myself having, really fun engagements with friends that I had kind of lost touch with, because in that workaholic zone, I didn't really have time for friends. I didn't really have time to have just chit chats and conversations. It was like, hey, you know what? I gotta go. So as I'm cultivating this, I start to ask this question. And I got this question from Gary Douglas, the founder of Access Consciousness. And those of you that have watched the show know that we touch on the tools of Access Consciousness quite often in here. And if you want to find out more, check out the description somewhere. We have a link to it. And he said in a class that I was attending, he said, if you could ask the question, if I was living today, what would I choose? And that was big for me, because I had never asked that question. I had actually never made it a priority to even look at that as something valuable. If I was living today, what would I choose? No, it was like for consciousness. What would I choose? It was for, all of these things that I had decided were so much bigger and so much more important than living. That's what I'm choosing for, not for living. So I started to really play with that question. If I was living today, what would I choose? And it also gets you the sense of that everything is a choice. And now see, we're getting close to creating a future as we talk about this. So everything is a choice. So even the choice to come on here. A lot of us pretend we have no choice. We go, I have to show up for work. I have to show up for this. I booked it. I planned it. I scheduled it. I have to. Well, have to is part of how we maintain that life. Have to is the elements and the maintenance of life. Living doesn't have any have tos. Living is based off of the energy of motion and choice and generation and creation. So if I was living today, what would I choose? Started to blow my mind. I was asking that for everything. If I was living today, I would have, okay, I'm going to eat. I'm going to choose some food today. I'm going to choose some breakfast. If I was living today, what would I choose? Interesting question to ask about breakfast. If I was living today, what would I choose? Even going to the grocery store, or if I was living today, what would I choose? Would I work right now? Would I play with my kids right now? If I was living today, what would I choose? This does not mean, and this is the illusion, guys. The illusion is that if you were always in the energy of living, that you would be irresponsible, your business would fall apart, people wouldn't be able to rely on you, all these things. Okay, that actually some of that might be true for you. Maybe your business would fall apart because you don't desire that business, because that business isn't living for you. It's maintaining a life that you don't even want to have. Okay. People might start seeing you as irresponsible because they want to predict you. And if you're in the energy of living, you're not creating predictability. That is the solid, stable life, a predictable life, predictable income, predictable, slow, incremental change. That's life. Living is unpredictable. So if I was living today, what would I choose? And I started to look at that with everything. If I was living today, what would I choose? If I was living today, what would I choose? Sometimes I chose not to get something done that I was supposed to get done. And sometimes I would choose it because it did match the energy of living. And if you really allow your brain to just go away, when you're asking this question, you will get awarenesses that you probably would not expect. If I was living today, what would I choose? So as I started to ask this question, I started to get an awareness of what living actually even was for me. Because like I said before, I didn't know. No one taught me about the energy of living. I was taught how to have a life. And I succeeded at it. And then I threw that life away. I changed that life. And then I went into living, but only living through one area, maybe with my kids. So maybe two areas. But what if you had living in every area? What if you had living within your business, within your relationships, with your body? What would that be like? And now here's the choice part. Okay. So if I was living today, what would I choose? So choice, that energy of choosing, that energy of choice is what will generate and create that future peace. So if my priority, my top priority is life, stability, maintenance, having this life, and that's my top priority, and I keep choosing that, then I'm creating a future that is going to have just more of this in it. Because every time I choose towards this future that's built upon this life. Okay, so now if I'm choosing living, if every choice I made was based on living being a priority, what future am I generating and creating and choosing towards? Very different. Very different. And what future would you all like to see? Some of you might think that you would like to have a stable future. We want to know that, 10 years from now, that the school system is going to be the same, that the government is going to be the same, that, inflation won't be too chaotic, that we're going to have some stability going on. We want to maintain life here on planet Earth. And if that's true for you, that's cool. Have that. Choose that. Create that. Please do. But if that had some solid heaviness, I might need to go take a nap right now, then you might be aware that there's something different available and something maybe greater for you available. When you look at having an adventure, right? I'm going to go have an adventure. Does it have the elements of a stable life? Or does it have the elements of living, an unpredictable, generative, and creative living? Yeah, that one. So what kind of future would you like? And what creation, what adventure would you be willing to have to get to that future that is always in the future? And part of that is choosing living right now, every day. And please don't have a conclusion about what that means. Choosing living actually might be parking your butt on the couch and Netflixing all day. And I know that sounds crazy because that couldn't.
Can I have?
My kid just offered me chocolate. How sweet is that? And he's slamming the door because he can't close it. So this was actually something that occurred today. So I kept my kids home from school because it matched the energy of living. We woke up this morning and, there was some energies up, and I was looking at it. I was like, okay, so well, if I was living today, what would I choose? And I got keep the kids home from school. So I kept the kids home from school. How fun is that? And totally unexpected, and having the most beautiful day today, and the harmony and the peace that I perceive with my kids right now is such a gift. And for them, today is about living. And when I get off here today with you guys, we have some like really fun plans that we're going to go do. And that's that adventure of living. So when I look out into the future, and if I could design the future for the world, if I was going to craft something, I would desire to create something with the joy of living, with the adventure of the adventure of having a body here, and the adventure of the unknown and the mysteries of the future. For me, if I was going to create a future here for everyone, that's what I would ask for. And you creating your own future, your future actually includes the whole world. So if you're creating a future off of a platform of living, then you are inviting this energy of living to everyone. And I saw it with my kids when we chose living today. That showed up. And I've been interacting with some people today, just being in this energy and this vibration of living. And it's contagious. It's infectious. And what if more of us were infecting the world with the vibrancy of living rather than desperately trying to find solid ground so that we can have a life back? I just want my life back. I just want to get my life back. I just want to create a life. How many people have said that? How many people are looking to end COVID so that they can get back to their life, or they could start to create a new life? But what if they were willing to jump into the current of living? What if there's an invitation for living right now that has never been available before? Yeah. So platform of living, I'll speak a little bit about that. So a platform is this is the whole life thing. Okay. So if you build a home, not everywhere in the world, because I know that there's different terrain, but especially in Canada. Okay. If you build a home, you build a foundation for it. Most homes in Canada will have what we call a basement. I learned this year that not everyone has a basement. I thought it was a common thing. Okay. So you dig a hole in the ground, and it's big enough that people can have full rooms in it, and you create a foundation, you pour concrete, it is solid. Okay. And then you build the house upon the foundation. We actually have a class in Access Conscious called The Foundation, which is about melting that foundation of your life. What do we create it out of? Okay, so we created it out of all the ideas and points of view that our parents have about what a good life is. It could be part of your foundation, could be you work hard for your money, or it's important to be reliable to the people around you. Family is the most important thing in the world. People aren't happy that have a lot of money. So we start to construct our life into a foundation. And that's so that we can create this thing that we think that we all want, or at least we've bought into, called this solid life. Okay. So you have this delicious foundation, not delicious to me. And then you build your life on it, and then you have a life. And because it's not movable, it can only just slowly get greater. You could do renovations and you make your house a little bit, you just kind of upgrade it every couple of years, right? Now, platform is something movable. A platform is, Gary actually describes it as in Venice, because the houses are built on the water, they construct the platform on these kind of posts. So it's actually very movable. Okay. So a platform is something that you can launch off of. A platform isn't for building a life on. A platform is for launching into more living. So that platform can be constructed of possibilities rather than points of view. It can be constructed based on your asks for the future rather than what you're told you're supposed to have as a future. Your platform is this energetic, essentially platform of possibility that is always moving and changing and altering. And you don't ever build a life on it. You actually use it for your living, and you leap off of that platform. So if you have the energies, the elements of living in your platform, which I just started 4 months ago. I kind of started 6 months ago with some of the questions, but I wasn't really clear on this for myself until about 4 months ago. And it's still, like I said, it's an evolution. That doesn't mean I still don't have days where I'm working ridiculously, but it's from a different energy. It's from an energy and a generation of a future I'm aware of. And I was saying to one of the people that work with me, I was saying that the future that I'm creating is a lazy one. I am creating towards a very lazy future where I get to have a lot more ease, a lot more easiness, and a lot more laziness, and the joy of that. And I'll try it on, and maybe I won't like it, and I'll pull it out of my platform. So that's part of the platform for living, is you start to get these energies of the life you'd like to have. And as those energies come in and you add them to your life, they will construct an energetic platform for you. And that energetic platform is there to support you when you leap into something different. You leap into choices, you rocket ship into something amazing, like an adventure of living. So if I was living today, what would I choose? That is a question that you can add to your daily asks. You can start every day with that. And if every day you started with the question of, if I was living today, what would I choose? Then you'll create your life as a flow of living rather than a maintenance of life. And when you create your every day as a flow of living, every choice, every time you choose that will lead you towards an even greater, a more vibrant and living in your future, which invites the world to such living. Thank you, everyone. This was fun doing this show by myself. I didn't really know how it was going to work out, but yeah, it was really enjoyable. And I'm grateful for everyone that's watching now and then watching in the future. And I think we're ready to spin the wheel. So hopefully all of you have entered your names, and we've got your name in the Google Doc, and we're going to use this thing and spin. Oh, you know what? I really should have like some spinning music. That would be awesome. However, Facebook does this weird thing, and it like deletes you if you play any music, which is a super bummer. So no music today, but I'll look at what's possible without creating that. Are you guys ready? Well, I'm just really excited to spin the wheel because it's so cute. And eventually, I mean, we don't have it right now, but we're going to have a sticker here that's going to say the greatest show. It's going to be amazing. Can everyone see it? Should I bring it closer? Hello, wheel. How are you today? Someone is going to win. Oh, should I tell you guys what you're going to win? I don't think I even told you yet. Look at me. I keep like teasing you, and then I stop. This is good. This is fun. I like foreplay. Okay. I like to tease people up a little bit. I didn't even know I was doing it until this moment. So you're welcome. All right. So yeah, right. But it's 14. But yeah. Okay. So so with the energy of creating a platform for living, with the energy of, yes, we're winning something. So those of you that have known me for a while know that I'm an Access Conscious certified facilitator. So that means I am licensed and able to facilitate access consciousness classes, but I also do something called private sessions. So I do one-on-one sessions with people. And these sessions are have been really fun and such a generative way to create living for people. And I do packages. So you can always choose a one-off session with me. Sometimes people just they're like, I just want to change something. Can I get on Zoom with you? We got to do this. And it's go time. We just use all the tools and we change something. But there's something really beautiful about seeing someone once a week or sometimes every second week. And we usually start the session, like the start of the package would be like, hey, so what would you like to get out of this? Are you looking to clear something? You're looking to change something? Are you looking to generate something and create something? And now, it's the new year and people are they're either looking at resolutions, New Year's resolutions, or just new targets, new asks. And I know that mine, when I really looked at, and I already said one, is to have easy living, but also to have, to really be in that creation of my life and the creation of the future. And so that's been leaking into my private sessions. And so I've been having people, and we get on once a week or every second week, kind of depending on how they want to do it. We have a 30-minute session. I call them accelerate sessions. So we have a 30-minute session, and then I give them home play. And then they play with it either for the week or the 2 weeks. And then we get back on and we say, okay, what's changed? What's occurred? And how can we go deeper now? And what else do we want to generate? What else do we want to create? So it's not just about, I have a problem, I want to change it. Often it's, I want to generate something different in my business. I would like to add some different energies here, or I would love to have greater communication with my body. So with this whole creating or living and creating a platform for living, I got really excited to offer this as a possibility. So I just revamped all of my sessions, and the prize that we have today isn't even available anymore as a session package with me, but it was one of my most popular at the time, and has been just really fun and really incredible, the change that I've seen. I see some people in the chat. Thank you so much for all your comments about what it's been like to have sessions with me. It's really a huge joy for me. I love working one-on-one with people and seeing like the change occur for them. It's incredible. So what you'll get today is it's valued at $600 USD, and it will be 3 accelerate sessions, and we can set it up once a week, or we can set it up every second week, whatever is fun for you. And that's what we're going to do today. So my producer has been pulling all the names of all you guys on here live with me. She's been putting them into a Google Doc, and they're all numbered. Okay. So we had to think of how are we going to do this, because I'm not going to sit here for 20 minutes and write everyone's name on here. So what I did is I wrote numbers. And so when I spin the wheel, it's going to land on a number, maybe 13. That's my favorite number. And then whoever matches that number in the Google Doc that my amazing producer has is going to win this Accelerate package. And you can have this for yourself, or if you feel free to gift it. If you know someone that could really use this and you just want to gift it to them, that's fine too. And I'm really excited to start a new adventure with one of you guys on here today. Are we ready? I think we're ready. Let's do this. Okay. I got to give it a good spin. This is exciting. This is an exciting moment for me to use my spinner. If I was Vanna White, how would I do this? Oh, like this. Are you ready? Number 5. Number 5 is alive, and just won the amazing package. I have to go over here to find out who won it. Oh my goodness. Guess who won it? Linda Rizzoli. You're my girl. I love Linda Rizzoli. I actually had her as a guest on the show. She's becoming a dear friend of mine. I absolutely adore her. And thank you, Alyssa. And if any of you guys would like to look at what's possible with packages with me or one-on-one sessions, you can check out the link there. And and let's see what's possible. Us having that contribution and me being able to facilitate what you're asking for and support you in your living. Linda Rizzoli, I'm so excited. I adore you. I'll reach out to you privately and we will set something up. Thank you, all of you, for joining me here today. This was really incredible, and I'm absolutely grateful and excited to explore more topics with you. We will be back here next week. This is our new time, 1 p.m. PST, and we will have an amazing guest on here to explore some different topic, and then we'll play the game. I don't know, maybe we'll have the spinner, maybe we won't, maybe we'll play a game, maybe we should do prizes all the time. I'm not sure. I'll just ask the question. If I was living today, what would I choose? All right. Bye, everyone. Take care. Thank you.